What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared, and welcome back to TechWorks. So, I didn't really know what to talk about today, and I was in the shower thinking about what I should talk about, what's going on, and actually it brings me to something that I was watching yesterday, which was a news segment that had Louis Rossmann in it from Rossmann Group. He has a repair shop in New York City, does a lot of board repair, things like that, for MacBooks especially. And I was thinking about right to repair. So I'm a person who enjoys working on their own stuff, whether it's cars, electronics, fixing things generally. I try to fix myself before I take it somewhere or call in somebody else. So with that, I thought about how technology is today and how even cars are today. Because the whole article and the whole media segment, which was I think from CBS Canada, was about how a consumer took a MacBook to the Apple store, had no backlight, and basically, long story short, the Apple store, that particular store, said that there was water damage and that he needed a new logic board, and it was going to be around $1,200, possibly a new display. And so then the guy took his computer to Louis Rossmann, and it was a bent pin on the display cable, which Louis then said that normally, if that was the case, he'd probably fix it for free, unless the customer wanted to change the cable. So, of course, the article was really about, is Apple scamming customers in repairs? And, you know, in one breath, I do want to repair my own things. I want to have parts available for my own things. And I want to have guides if I don't know exactly how to do it for my own things. Watching the cat in the back. In the other breath, though, when you take your computer, phone, tablet, whatever, to the store, Apple Store, we'll continue with that trend. Apple's a retailer. They sell electronics. Their main principle for being in business is not repairing electronics. Louis Rossmann is a repair shop. He doesn't sell anything new. He just repairs. So I will agree with customers saying that they want to be able to have support for their products for X amount of years, and I agree with that. And I really don't think that there's a problem with that as far as if you took your phone into the Apple store, you know, a few years later asking for a screen replacement. I think they still do that. But my main thing is that the retailer, at least in my mind, is not a repair shop. So they need to get people in and out as quickly as possible, whether they have software issues, and usually geniuses tend to do that the most. They deal with software issues, they deal with update issues, they deal with a lot of different things, not necessarily always hardware related. And I think people got to understand that there might be someone there who knows how to do a hot air rework station. And for anyone out there who has soldered or done metalworking or any sort of brazing, it's hard. It is hard even on larger pieces of metal if you're doing welding. And then doing that on a microscopic level with little circuits, diodes, and all that stuff, it's a lot harder than it seems. And for someone to take out of their job for X amount of hours to fix a capacitor, which might be a few dollar part, yeah, it would probably make the consumer happy. They're going to have a lower repair cost, but that's taking a lot of time away from that one individual out of how many other computers they could look at and potentially fix in that time. So I 100% agree that Apple should repair and attempt and look at and support their computers, phones, whatever, all their electronics for X amount of years. I do agree with that, as far as any other manufacturer as well. I know a lot of people were talking about Alienware on my channel, about how they've had thermal issues and problems and stuff, and Dell should do the same thing. They should support it. The problem is Dell doesn't have a brick-and-mortar store you can go take your laptop to have them fix it. You are pretty much always looking at either third-party or mailing it back, and that's just a pain. And I bring this as an analogy into the real world today, that things in general are just getting harder to repair. Technology has advanced to the point where you do need special tools. Again, Apple makes special screws which deterred people from opening their computer. And while I think that's, you know, agitating because an average consumer can't access it, again, an average consumer isn't probably going to access it anyway, unless you're going to try to repair it, which then I would say you're not just an average consumer, you're a little more advanced, you're willing to try to take on this project by yourself. And my comparison to that is cars today. So I love working on my cars. I enjoy, I did an exhaust system swap out on my car this past year. I did engine work, all that stuff, and I try to do it myself unless I personally don't know how to do it. But with that said, there is so little room in the engine compartments today with all the tech. Stuff in a huge engine in a very small area and getting it all organized so that there is no wasted space. It's hard for an individual, whether I know what I'm doing or not, to work on it. And I think that, again, like with the 10S Max here, everything is so compact in here that even if okay, this is the display, this is for the battery, this is for whatever, it's going to be harder and harder to work on in general unless you are specialized and trained and willing to take that risk and do it, or be educated to do so. So, the big argument is right to repair. People got to have the right to repair. iFixit out in California, is really pushing legislation to have right to repair laws that manufacturers have to put out schematics and things of that nature. And I will agree with that. And I will agree that, there is shops out there that, and stores and manufacturers and companies that should support and do the best they can for the products more. I can't necessarily always disagree, though, with a company like Apple, whose main business is to sell product, not repair product, saying the fix is going to be more expensive because all they're going to be doing, even if you have, say, a great example, 2011, 2012 MacBooks had a GPU issue, made it overheat, unsolder from the logic board. Now, the fix for that is reheat the GPU, reset it on there, good to go. Not a very hard fix, probably didn't need any parts, maybe some flux, just get it done. A lot of people wouldn't do that. Average consumers wouldn't do that. Apple, more than likely, would replace the board, the entire board. And no, there's, the CPU was probably fine, everything else was probably fine, all your connections were probably fine, but that was the easiest for them to get it in, get it out, back to you as quick as possible. If you came and you had a computer there that needed board rework done and they said a couple weeks, you're going to be upset. And their main goal is to keep you happy as you're leaving. So you might pay a little bit more, sure. But you also don't have to take it there. No one's telling you that you have to take it to the Apple store or take it to Lewis Rossman or take it to a local repair shop. That's on you. If you want to take it to Apple to have it fixed, go for it. If you want to take it to your friend and have them fix it, go for it. My friends in college would take their stuff to me. I would fix it. I'm not a licensed professional in any way, shape, or form. I just knew how to do stuff. And so they took it to me. They knew the risk. They knew that I wasn't, a shop owner or anything like that. But that's how it worked. So, right to repair, 100% for it. Right to work on your stuff, I agree. Having accessible tools, parts, all that, I do not disagree with that one bit. They have made it harder for people to work on them, but I also think it's been more complicated. Changing a screen now in an iPhone XS versus an iPhone 4 where the whole back slid off. So, definitely think about it. And let me know what you think down below. Whether or not you're right to repair totally and want all manufacturers to release everything, or you think there's a give and a take, and there's, what should be done and what has to be done, and where there's kind of a tipping point. So let me know. And if you're someone that works on your stuff, definitely leave a like and tell me what you like to work on. So, my name is Jared. Thank you again for watching. I do appreciate every view that you guys give me. I have since reached 2,000 subs, which is awesome. It's been just about a year since I've been doing this. So, let's keep it going. So, anyway, thank you again for watching. My name is Jared, and I will see you in the next video.